welcome back, and in this video we're going to continue with the CAD series, the prototype series. Yeah, just because I'm decided to go ahead and resurrect the Alvaville Railroad, that doesn't mean I'm not going to continue to do these videos, because I know some of you guys are following. So as long as you guys are wanting to follow these, and I'll go ahead and continue to post them. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. In our last video, we looked at how to look at the Walthers footprint dimensions for their cornerstone products and be able to draw some of the buildings and stuff and place them into our CAD program, or to draw them in our CAD program. And then I said that in this video we're going to be talking about bench work and everything. So that's where I want to start off at. So the first thing that I always do is I always go, okay, well, where am I going to buy my wood from? And I usually go to like a Lowe's or a Home Depot or someplace like that. Actually, I use Lowe's. I found that their lumber's a little bit cheaper than Home Depot, and it seems to be a little bit better grade. But I'm just going to type in a 1 by 3 by 8. And I always use dimensional lumber on my stuff. So what I use is this what they call common here. It's about the cheapest that you can get. It's you see, it's like the spruce pine fir board. It's like a white wood. It's kind of soft, but it's cheap. And if you always make sure I examine the wood before I buy it. I always look down the length of the board to see if it's warped or anything before I buy it. But as you can see here, the actual dimensions for this are 0.7480 and 2.4803. It's not actually 1 by 3, so we need to convert this into inches here for our program. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that, I'm just going to round up, say 0.75 and 2.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here. Well, you can see where I've already got one plotted up here, but I'm just going to show you guys how I do it. So type in REC, let me turn my cap lock on there, REC for rectangle, and just give it a starting point. And then I'm going to open up my calculator program here. And I'm going to take that 0.75, multiply that times that 0.83. And I'm just going to right click that and hit copy, and then I can come down here and paste that in. Let me hit D first for dimension and give it the horizontal dimension. I'm going to paste that, hit enter, and then let's do the same thing for the 2.5. So 2.5 times 0.083, and then let's paste that in down here. Okay, and as you can see, it's the exact same thing as this. The actual dimension that we're really concerned with here is this 0.75 or 3/4 of an inch. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to draw another rectangle, except this time I want the horizontal dimension to be 8 and the vertical to be that 0.75, or the what was it, 0.75 times 0.083. Yeah, I want it to be that. So once you get this plotted, once you get the kind of like the plank plotted up like that, and you're pretty much done. You can copy and scale, or not scale it, but trim it and shrink it, grip edit it, and do all that with it. So so there's our piece of wood. It should be 8 feet long by 0.75. So this, you'd be looking down at the top. So so like the way I did, if you watched, I don't know if you watched the last video or not, but this is the Alvaville Railroad, and this is the bench work on it. And this is what ours is going to look like. But as you can see here, I did not use any pilasters on this. I was going to, for the hardboard, But what I've decided to do is kind of build it in sectionals using the 1x3s and just mounting the sectionals directly to the wall studs with some lag bolts. And so I think that's probably going to be the better design. If you wanted to mount hardboard, you could still put some like some 1x2s along the wall to secure the hardboard in place. But we'll look at that in a couple of other videos, or in a video or two away. So let's go ahead and continue on with this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of these pilasters. So I'm just going to erase these. And actually, before I do that, we can go ahead and I'm going to offset. I'm going to leave one of the pilasters. I want to leave. Well, let's hit escape. No, it's still there. Okay. I'm going to leave that one pilaster there so we can use it as an offset distance, because I'm going to offset the backdrop to where it's right up against the wall. So I'm going to type in O for offset, and then instead of trying to figure out what this distance is, you can just let it snap to there, to the corner of there, and that'll give you your dimension like that. And as you can see, now our backdrop's running right up against the wall. Okay, again, you could mount the backdrop right up against the wall, or you can bring the backdrop out the width of the 1x3. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to I always like to kind of start with the end. So I'm going to copy a piece of that, and I'm going to rotate that -90 degrees to make it go straight up and down. And I'm going to take that and move that to say about in here like that. Then what I can do is I can grip at it and get this piece down to size. Like that right there. And then what I can do is I can come in and copy one of these like that, and I'm gonna go ahead and copy that again for this piece down here. Okay, so we can see we're looking good here, because it's going to be shorter than an 8-foot piece. So that means we won't have to have two pieces along there. But now you got to start thinking about, okay, well, how do I want to do, this transition from, going this way to this way. And usually what I do is I'll take another piece. Just going to take that, copy it, put it up here, and then I'm going to rotate that again, 90 or -90, whichever way you want to go. In fact, I'm going to leave that piece like that so I don't have to rotate it next time. And I can just copy those pieces for the vertical pieces. And I'm going to come in here and let's see, if I went right up to the corner of the room like that, yeah, that might work. And then what we could do is come in here and grip at it like this. There we go. So now we see we have that piece that runs the length of the wall there, and that piece would be using the dimension aligned, or parallel dimension as they call it in this program. Let's see what the length of that would be. 7'8" and 1/8 inch. Okay. So now that we got that, what we can do is we can come in here. We can do the same thing here. Something about like that. Now, as you can see here, I mean, again, I haven't really met. I mean, this room was fictitious, so I don't know if this this wall stud is right, whoops, this wall stud is right where it needs to be. Let's see what that dimension would be. Well, it's 2 foot 6 inches, okay. So it looks like you may be able to share one of the wall studs with this piece, you know, maybe put a lag bolt in on this piece and then a lag bolt in on this piece that we're getting ready to put in. But before we do that, let's go ahead and copy this again. And this time, let's do this. Let's move it here because I want it to be exactly parallel with this edge of the bench work. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my ortho command, turn my ortho command on. I'm going to type in M for move, click on the end point, and then just come straight up like that. Okay. And then what we can do is so what I like to do is I like to try to space these out evenly if I can. So let's draw, what I do is a shortcut I do is I draw a circle. The circle should be 8 feet 1 1/8 inch. Okay, then what you can do to find the midpoint is just type in SC for scale, click on the circle, click the base point there, which is the radius, and type in 0.5. And so that's going to be your midway point. Then what you can do is you can copy, CO for copy this piece here from the midpoint of this piece to midpoint there like that. Now we need to bring this down because this is going to be an interior piece like that. And then what you can do is you can scale that again 0.5. So let's do that again. It's just a quick way to do it to evenly space these supports without having to sit there and figure out the math. If you just do it, you know, scale the circle down 0.5 like that each time. So let's copy this again from here to here. Okay. And if we want to, we can stretch this back out to here and then scale at 0.75, which should put us about in here somewhere, right? So let's go to there, 0.75 this time. And then we can copy like that. So the distance we got between them on center is almost 2 feet. We got 1 foot 11 inches. Should be the same for the other one here too. Yeah, 1 foot 11 inches. So depending on what you're trying to do, like for this particular layout, you know, if we built this frame here with dimensional lumber, I'd probably go ahead and just, I like to use foam a lot, so I'd probably just glue like a piece of 2-inch extruded foam to the top, and then I can carve that foam, the topography of that foam, you know, so it's not just like totally flat or whatever. But I like to use that foam a lot because I can vary the topography without having to use a lot of sculpt mold and stuff like that. So that's probably how I do this one. So in this particular case, you know, it's going to be pretty lightweight. So I think you could probably get by with that, you know, 2 feet in between each support. And so let me show you this corner one here, how I would do that, and then I'm going to kill the video because it's getting long. So I just copied one of these pieces, and let's see, actually I want to copy it from this other corner here because I want to move it. No, I want to move it from that end. See, if you strategically think about your base point, you know, you want it to be this corner right here because then you can rotate, RO for rotate. Select that object, give it the base point. Remember R for reference. Give it the base point from there to there and then down to there like that, and then you can just grip edit this to the intersection. Turn that ortho off like that. And here, you probably want to stretch that out. Probably what I do here is I type an INT for intersection, and you're going to force the intersection. So you'd snap on this line. It did it for me, so I put it right there. And then I would grip edit this up here to this intersection like that. And what's cool about the CAD program is, if you're wondering what angle do I cut this wood at, type in DC for dimension corner, and that would be the angle that you would set your your miter saw or whatever it is you're using. It's almost 45 degrees, so you could probably cut that angle there at 45 degrees. All right, it's looking good. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill the video, and we'll pick back up in the next video. Until then, we'll talk to you later.